Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, let me just jump straight to the dashboard and I'll do a quick demo on DocuSign to let you understand how to fully utilize the features. All right, so very quickly, this is actually a very high level overview of the dashboard here. So there's actually two groups of access in your company for each account actually. So either you're the administrator and user, or you're just the user, right? So in my view here, right, I'm actually the user. So if you see as a user, you're able to set up your necessary details here. You can upload your picture of yourself, put up your own signature style. And this is a very good overview on a dashboard, assuming you regularly send out contracts. And this is where you can monitor the status of your contract. So you can monitor, how many contracts you've sent out, how many contracts has been completed. And those completed ones will be there for as long as you have the account, and you can just go in and retrieve the contract anytime you want, right? But let me just do a quick showcase on how an administrator view is going to be like. All right. So my account also carry administrator access. So as an administrator, this is the dashboard that you get to see, right? So it comes with quite a few setup and features here. But one important thing is, as an administrator, you can actually go to set up your users in your environment. So administrator, obviously you can add more administrator in your environment. So you grant the person with administrator access. Also at the same time, of course, you can add the rest of the team within organization. So as a sender access, obviously you can just only send, right? So you can't interfere how the administrator control your access, right? So administrator, you can also go ahead to add and remove users. So as people come and go, so you can manage the access accordingly. Okay, so just one important point here, right? For each account, each DocuSign account, right, envelope-based licensing account, you can add as many, which means you can add unlimited number of senders, right? So you're not limited to just 5 or 10. You can add as many senders as you have. Everybody will be sharing the total number of envelopes that you have bought for, right? So one is if you're assigning to the user, you can. Okay, so one thing is, assuming your account has 500 envelopes, okay? So you assign to 10 users, right? The 10 user will be sharing that 500 envelopes. So every time they use, they will count towards that 500 envelopes. That's the part one, right? So you don't have to worry how many users you assign to, but you have to monitor the total envelope usage in general. They will not be able to see each other contracts at all, right? It's a protocol that we set up, because if it's a HR using, you can't have everyone accessing what the HR is sending within the company. So it's only exclusive to the person that's using the account. Let's say I'm the HR, I'm only sending a contract to Alex as my candidate, right? It's only between me and her, unless I choose to copy my management into that workflow. Later I'll demo and show you how it looks like, because if she's within that workflow, then yes, everybody will have access to that contract. And outside of that, even if like any other account will not be able to see whatever the person is looking in the account. Let me just demonstrate one workflow. All right. So today, right, I'm going to send out an envelope. So again, this is just how I send out. So my scenario here is I'm going to send an envelope. I'll go ahead to click send. So now I'm acting as a sender, right? So as a sender, okay, second. Okay, so from here, I'll go ahead to upload the document that's needed for this workflow. Okay. Right, so a copy of the contract. So just like I mentioned, you can actually upload multiple documents. So you can upload Word file, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF, it doesn't matter. So I can actually upload additional document into the workflow envelope. But however, for this demonstration, I'm going to just upload one document, right? So the next step here, I'll be adding whoever needs to be part of this overall signing process, right? So for demo, first person signing will be Austin, right? Austin will be signing off the contract. And the second person will be myself, right? I'll be signing off the second part of the contract. So I actually sequence this, meaning if Austin never signed the first part, it will never go to the second person to sign, right? Also at the same time, you can also keep someone else in the copy too, right? So while this is happening, perhaps the procurement or whoever is involved will keep a copy. So you can also put in email loops, right? So it can be legal@docusign.com, right? Or legal at this. So it becomes sending the contract. When the contract is completed, the respective department team everybody in the team will receive the completed contract. So you can grant additional, so there's actually a lot of flexibility here. So we are here to provide you the platform to generate all the complexity you want in the contract signing process, and is, I would say, mostly covered all in all. It's just how you want to dictate the signing process. So you can see a lot of options are here, but again, today I'm not going to visit every single option, but I'm going to keep it simple. This scenario will be one document I send to two-person to sign off, and I'll complete from there, right? So you can also set up custom message for each individual user, say hi, please sign off, right? Something like that. And also at the same time, right, you can actually set up a bit of advanced option here is that, first of all, you can add company logo. So you can put your own company logo if you want, and you can do expiration. So like, let's say if you're in procurement department and the contract expires in 30 days, because sometimes you send the price code only valid for 30 days or 14 days or whatever you want, you can actually put up an expiration option as well. You can also send automatic reminder. So if the person that never signed after 1 or 2 days, you get reminded every other day, right? So things like that can be set up in the sending portion, right? So as a sender, I set everything up nicely to make it very easy for the signer to sign. So this is the next part here, is to dictate where the person should be signing. So Austin has a color code. So Austin, I want him to sign here. I want his name to be here, the date sign to be here, right? And for Eason, right, I'm the second person, right? I'll put the name here. I'll get the person to sign here, right? Date sign to be here. Okay. You can also do additional stuff. You can see a lot of other buttons here. You can also say that for the candidate, I want the person to upload a document to the contract as well. If you can also set rules that this is a required field. If you didn't upload, the contract cannot be completed. So you basically kind of cover all the required fields you want in a signing process, right? So from here, once I completed everything, so this is more or less done, I can go ahead to hit send, right? So now as a sender, my job is done at the moment. So I can send out, I can go ahead to monitor the status on my dashboard, right? So you can see the dashboard here. I can see that Austin has received the contract. I'm waiting for him to sign, right? So now I'm jumping out to where my signer had, right? So I'm going to go into Austin Gmail. Second. Okay, so this is Austin Gmail, and he can also access his contract via a mobile phone, right? Doesn't matter. So you can see that in his Gmail, there's a request to sign off a contract. All you need to do is just click on the link here. So you can see that the company logo appears, and this is a request here to sign off the contract, right? So from here, I just go ahead to click on the link, right? So as a signer, it's very simple because we have made it easy for the signer to sign off the contract to speed up the whole signing process. So Austin will just need to accept the terms and condition. And from here, so imagine if this signer, there's like 50 page, he'll just click on start. It'll bring me to exactly where I should be signing, and I'll just go ahead to sign off, right? So it'll be easier over the mobile phone because you can actually sign on the screen, or you can just sign with an initial, or you can upload a picture of your signature. So for this signing, I'll be signing with a scribble, with a draw, right? So now I'm done. And for Austin's side, I just need to click finish. So for first signer has already been completed. Okay. So it's very simple. So you just click no, and just the first signer has already signed off the first portion. I'll take a quick pause on the signer side, right? So let me jump back to my sender dashboard. So Eason sent out a contract to Austin. If I were to hit a refresh, right, immediately I know the status now is Austin have already signed and he has gone back to me, like Eason, to sign off the second portion. So you see the first part I re-sign, I know exactly where the status is and I can chase the second person to sign off the contract. Right, so this is the beauty of DocuSign. So imagine you have 5 people to sign, you know exactly where is it stuck at, right? So you can even tell that the person viewed the contract and they have not signed. So this is something that data that we get to capture on every step of the way, right? So now on the second signer, let me just jump to my DocuSign email. So obviously I'm sending to Austin to sign, and now I'm the second person to sign the contract. So when I click review document, so basically over mobile or over the browser, I can just open up the contract. All right, so click continue. So from here, first Austin already sign off, and I'll be the second person to sign, and I'll click finish. Okay, so done. So now 2 parties have signed out the contract, and every signer would have received a completed contract by now. Okay, so you receive all in the email, so you see a copy of completed contract, right? So let me just jump back to the dashboard again. So here, as a sender, right, I can go ahead to monitor, refresh again. I will know that the contract has already been signed, right? Both parties have signed. So if I click on more, I look at history, I can actually tell what time they sign and when they sign, all the status, okay? And
Recording stopped.
If you need to do a contract retrieval, you can click download. So there's actually an additional document when you, as a sender, you can retrieve an additional document called certificate of completion. So that's the one that I mentioned just now. That's the audit trail. Okay. So for sharing, okay. So let me just open up this 2 document just to show you how it looks like. So this is the completed contract that we just did. And also at the same time, if you look at here, right, this is the audit trail. So you can see that what time the person signed and when they signed and the timestamp and all. And if you notice, right, each contract has this tamper-proof seal over here. Basically, this is encryption where it says that the contract is authentic. And even if you were to edit the document, it's encrypted. It cannot be edited. All right. So coming back to here, right? So the beauty about DocuSign is that here you can monitor, assuming you send out 20, 30 contracts one shot. So you can monitor where's the status. And this is where you retrieve the contract. So you can look at the dashboard over here. And you can also search by subject or name or anything that is, that is relevant. Right, IT. So you can search how many falls under the word IT, so you can find the contract over here. Yeah. So it's also very mobile friendly. So you can actually download an app, DocuSign app, where you can monitor the status of your contract over mobile app instead of always going back to your browser. Yeah, so that will help you to cover all in terms of the operation and all. Yeah. Also on the, if let's say you do have several documents that you do send on a regular basis and it's repetitive, right? So you can actually do things like you can save it as a template. So whenever you want to send out the contract, you just go ahead to hit use, and it will help you to, you just need to fill up the person's detail, and you can just go ahead to hit send without having to redo the portion that I did just now. Ad hoc document, and I pull in all the details and drag all the details in before I send out. But you can actually save that as a template and you keep it here, and you can just go ahead to use the template every time you need it. Yeah.